Hello, y'all. Mandata, or Zekrower, faced deportation after DOJ wrote citizenship. Basically, this guy right here is just a new elected governor or mayor or whatever in New York City. He basically trying to pass a bill that all white people have to pay for everything in the community. They have to pay for the black community, the Latino community, everything. Meaning, if they got a business, they got to pay for it, pay for all the taxes, everything like that. Basically, now he's facing deportation, which, to be honest, he's a socialist and everything. He wants everybody to pay for all these foreigner stuff, which we basically already paying for enough already. So yeah.
What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out. As we're seeing Zohran Mamdani, NYC's Democratic mayoral candidate, faced a major backfire after a new DOJ referral was filed that could lead to him being removed from the United States. Guys, I'm excited to get to this one, so we'll dive straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
One of the things that we've said beyond saying that we're going to make this a sanctuary city for LGBTQIA plus workers, beyond saying that we're going to establish an office of LGBTQIA plus affairs, is also that we're going to provide $65 million in funding for gender-affirming care, the same amount of funding the federal government threatens to pull out from local providers for that funding. And in this moment especially, we want to fight we have to do so by fully funding our own services, taxing the wealthiest New Yorkers and corporations here. And one of the things that we've said beyond...
Alright, you guys, I do apologize. That was a little tough to hear. It sounded like we had a tractor trailer or a bus right outside the interview. I'm not sure if that was intentionally done, but basically this Democratic mayoral candidate, socialist candidate, Zohran Mamdani, is just vowed to fight the Trump administration and provide $65 million in funding for transitioning surgeries and puberty blockers. And we got lips of TikTok saying, good luck in New York. I mean, you guys will be a fool if you vote this guy in. I mean, the good news is I'm pretty sure they've got the challenger, an independent Democratic challenger, Eric Adams, going up, and he's their last shot. Maybe they'll pick him. We'll see, though. And then we got another tweet coming from ALX in response to a past or prior tweet from Zohran Mamdani. He says, so instead of assimilating communist foreigners, just come to America and demand we change our constitution. Sounds like an invasion to me. And this is a response to a former 2020 tweet, or 2022 tweet, I'm sorry, from Zohran Mamdani saying that we need to ban all guns, all firearms. I mean, what is that? So you come to our country, you don't want to assimilate, so you want us to change our values, change our constitution. Sounds like a foreign invasion if I've ever heard one myself. And guys, I was not too familiar with the Zohran Mamdani at first, but quickly understanding why New Yorkers are so upset and they are turning against him. Even the Dems don't like this guy.
Because I think that New Yorkers, more than they hate a politician they disagree with, they hate a politician they can't trust.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
But they go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old, is there are different parts of my life. A worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
Mamdani was talking about a worldwide press tour back when he was a rapper.
Bring the flavor to the fish, bring the flavor to the rice.
In a Disney movie directed by his mother.
Nepotism and hard work goes a long way. Here in New York City, this is how I speak, this is how I am. Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan? Because I think that New York...
Okay, so we're getting that's a little snapshot of the Disney actor slash rapper slash a Democratic mayoral candidate of New York City, Zohran Mamdani. I know that was a mouthful, a lot there, but this guy is just faked it. This is the definition, the epitome of faking it until you make it. Zohran Mamdani, I'm definitely seeing why he is becoming a very unpopular figure within New York City. And just then, here's the breaking news for today. We got Nick Sorter here on X tweeting out Representative Andy Ogles just formally asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to revoke Zohran Mamdani's citizenship and deport him back to Uganda. He states that Mamdani was openly supporting terror organizations prior to becoming a citizen, making him ineligible. Send him back. All right, you guys, and here is that formal request. Of course, we got to check out what was sent over from Andy Ogles to Attorney General Pam Bondi. And Andy Ogles wrote, "Dear Attorney General Bondi, I write the request. The Department of Justice opened an investigation into whether Zohran Mamdani, currently a candidate for mayor of New York City, should be subject to denaturalization proceedings under 8 U.S.C. 1451A on the grounds that he may have procured U.S. citizenship through willful misrepresentation or concealment of material for support of terrorism." Wow. It says, according to public reports, including a June 21st, 2025 New York Post article, Mr. Mamdani expressed open solidarity with individuals convicted of terrorism-related offenses prior to becoming a U.S. citizen. It says specifically he rapped, "Free the Holy Land 5, my guys." The Holy Land Foundation was convicted in 2008 for providing material support to Hamas, a designated foreign terrorist organization, publicly praising the foundation convicted leadership as "my guys," quote-unquote, raises serious concerns about whether Mr. Mamdani held affiliation or sympathies he failed to disclose during the naturalization process. He then continues on by saying, "While I understand that some may raise First Amendment concerns about taking legal action based on expressive conduct, such as rap lyrics, speech alone does not preclude accountability where it reasonably suggests underlying conduct relevant to eligibility for naturalization." It says, if an individual publicly glorifies a group convicted of financing terrorism, it is entirely appropriate for federal authorities to inquire whether that individual engaged in non-public forms of support, such as organizational affiliation, fundraising, or advocacy that would have required disclosure on Form N-400 or during a naturalization interview. So we can see Andy Ogles, that representative, is not messing around when it comes to Zohran Mamdani, and he doesn't mess around at all. We've seen the way he acted so swiftly with the Nashville mayor that was trying to block the process or, the agenda of these ICE agents within Nashville and the race that they were trying to conduct. He quickly snapped into action right there, and he's doing the same right here. And then, of course, Borders Are Tom Homan is sending another strong message to Zohran Mamdani. After the mayoral candidate has said that he will ban ICE from NYC, Tom Homan saying good luck with that.
Mayor candidate, he hasn't won yet, but he won the Democratic primary, Zohran Mamdani. So he's saying, this is incredible. He's vowed to kick the, quote, fascist ICE out of New York City, okay? So how do you intend to deal with that? Because I would guess there are going to be a lot of criminals and Iranian cells and whatnot in New York City. The job's not done there. What do you say to this guy?
Good luck with that. Federal law trumps him every day, every hour of every minute. We're going to be in New York City. Matter of fact, because it's a sanctuary city, President Trump made it clear a week and a half ago. We're going to double down and triple down on sanctuary cities. If we can't arrest a bad guy in the county jail, one agent arresting one bad guy, they release him in the streets like New York does every day. We got to send a whole team to look for this guy. And not only that, we're going to send additional teams to look for all the people they arrest. We're going to concentrate in sanctuary cities because we know they're releasing public safety threats and national security threats back to the street. So we know we got a problem there. So we don't have that problem in Florida where most sheriffs work for us. So we're going to double up and triple up on New York. And not only are we going to send more agents to the neighborhood, we're going to increase worksite enforcement tenfold. If we can't arrest them in the jail, you're going to force them in the neighborhood, then we'll find them in the neighborhood. If we can't find them in the neighborhood, we'll find them at the worksite. So game on. We're coming.
All right, so game on, we are coming. And rightfully so, we're seeing this mayoral candidate proposing to turn NYC into a socialistic dumpster fire. We can't allow that to happen. Tom Homan vowing that even if he says he'll ban ICE, we're still going to put, that just means more agents. I don't know what these sanctuary city officials are not getting. This just means that they're going to, if you want to ban ICE, it just means they're going to, or ban your cooperation with ICE, there's just going to be more ICE officials and agents within your territory. It doesn't make sense to me. Just comply. And then we got that governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, coming out saying if Zohran Mamdani somehow pulls this thing off, it's going to be disastrous, and folks are going to be fleeing from NYC, saying that his efforts, his far left policies to defund the police, use public funding for these transitioning surgeries, fight ICE and ban firearms is going to draw the line. It's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back for NYC residents.
People were fleeing Chicago, going places like Naples, and then they elected the guy they have now, who's even worse. And so you've seen even a bigger reaction. And I kind of feel like New York's doing that. De Blasio caused a lot of people to flee that city. And I saw it firsthand with the amount of wealth that moved into Florida and the businesses. And so now they're in a situation where this guy that they just nominated, he will be worse than de Blasio. He wants to eliminate the NYPD. I'll tell you what, when NYPD officers move to Florida and they work for law enforcement, we give them a $5,000 signing bonus. We believe in law enforcement in Florida. He wants to take over grocery stores and have government run the grocery stores. Can you imagine the disaster that will be? He wants to eliminate cash bail. So his ideas, first of all, a lot of them have been tried in places like San Francisco, and they have failed miserably. To the extent he's got these far left ideas that have not yet been implemented, I guarantee you it will be disastrous. And so, look, I'm not asking for anyone to come to Florida. We've got 23.5 million people, Laura.
Yeah,
New York only has 19.5 million now. So we have way more people than they do. And this is likely just going to dig that hole even deeper for them. People were fleeing.
And rightfully so. We seen, just like what Ron DeSantis literally just said, we've seen what happened in some of these policies that he's trying to implement, or he wants to implement within his agenda. We've seen it playing out in San Francisco. Look where they're at right now. I mean, they've got razors, shaving razors behind a lock and key door in drugstores, pharmacy stores. That place is a criminal sanctuary. I mean, that is a safe haven for criminals. Weren't they not prosecuting folks for shoplifting at some point, where folks were just running in, smash and grab, selling as much stuff as they want, as long as it was underneath $1,000? I just can't believe they're trying to repeat that. We've already seen it done before. It was disastrous. But it's just not government officials that are condemning the efforts of Zohran Mamdani or his agenda. We've got rapper 50 Cent now offering Zohran Mamdani $258,000 to get lost after Mamdani just name dropped him. And 50 Cent said, quote, "I'm not feeling this plan. No, I will give him $258,000 and a first-class one-way ticket away from New York." Oh my goodness! I'll be specific with the $258,000. Like what? What's going on there? But you can see that there are tons of folks that are opposed to the plans, the agenda of said Zohran Mamdani. And I believe this is the last clip that we have. I'll have to get some clarification on if this is the last one, but I want to make sure you guys got the full scope. Since we haven't covered Zohran Mamdani yet, just give you the breakdown of the complete far left of lunatic policies. We've got Douglas Murray going in on Jesse Waters' prime time on the socialist candidate.
Oh, well, he's certainly going to destroy the Democratic Party. My own view is that the American public, including the voters in New York, don't really like socialists of any kind. We don't like national socialists, and we don't like democratic socialists. And although national socialists have a much worse reputation, democratic socialists should have an equally bad reputation. Mamdani has an appalling track record of extremism and bigotry of almost every kind. And his answer to the problems of New York is to chase out even more of the rich from New York than have already been chased out in recent years by previous Democrats. So no, he's absolutely box office poison for the party. Well, it's going to be a big problem for them because, as you say, they're literally running away from answering this question. Perhaps people like Kathy Hochul and others will eventually find their voice and point out that to elect somebody like Mamdani would be deadly for New York. deadly for the citizens of the city. And those the younger voters, people in their 20s who seem to have come out for Mamdani, they've been promised a whole load of snake oil by him. But there's nothing that he's proposed that wouldn't make their lives worse. Just how many 20-somethings in New York feel good about the idea that the subway, when you ride it, that's already pretty dangerous, would be even more dangerous if you didn't have police in New York because Mamdani had decided to defund them. Nobody in New York thinks that the subway should become more dangerous. I can assure them of that. But on that policy and on every other, he is just leading the Democratic Party to the furthest unelectable position he could come to. Who knows? Maybe he can squeeze through in some way. I hope very much not. But whether or not he does, if the party as a whole goes in this direction, they lose all ability to get the actual mainstream voters of left and center back on board.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. Zohran Mamdani sounds like a train wreck, a slow-moving car crash for NYC. I'm not even sure how he got to the position that he's in. I hadn't heard much about him at all. This guy was a former Disney actor / rapper. I mean, how can you take this man seriously? I'm not even sure how he got to where he's at right now, but now the voters of New York City have some serious weight on their shoulders. They have to make a huge decision. Whether they want this, far left, loony socialist candidate to run their city. I mean, just the things that he's proposed, the defunding of NYPD, that blows my mind. We've seen the crime that goes on in New York City. I would be surprised to see if they would survive a lot. I mean, just think about the amount of crime. The amount of, the danger, the risk. I'm just thinking, who are you going to call in the middle of the night? Your house is getting robbed. There's no NYPD. It just blows my mind that folks still believe this is the solution